everyone. Today we've invited Berlin-based artist Paulette Penje. She lives and works in Berlin and internationally, and she's one of the winners of the Berlin Women Art Prize Extreme. And I'm really impressed with your work. And you wrote in one of your texts that your art is about exaggeration of existence. I absolutely loved this and was fascinated by this. What exactly do you mean? Is art some sort of exaggeration of existence?
Of course, not every art, but like I can question back, what were you been fascinated about?
Well, existence has so many facets in it, and mostly it's drudgery and routine, and this gave me something, come on, go over the top, it's bigger than life, and actually art could be this, and could show you something that you missed out, and that was absolutely impressive for me.
Mm-hmm. So when I wrote this sentence, I wrote it in German, and in German it's meine Arbeiten sind eine Übertreibung des Daseins, and actually I did try to find a sentence which talks about existence without using the word existence, and also like using it in a, like, let's say, a little bit more contemporary way. And at the same time, I mean, this is what I feel what I'm doing, like it's like amplifying all day things. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah.
Exactly. What I also like about it, that you intervene in a public space which is mainly still a male domain, and a female that has this power and Selbstbewusstsein to get into a public space and put her mark onto it or influence it. This is a challenge. What does this mean for you to intervene into a public space? Why do you do this?
I do it quite naturally. Like when I'm, like, I don't think it from this direction. Like I'm doing my stuff, and some things. I mean, what I do is like mainly doing like more or less private things in public space, what sounds very easy, but it makes a big change. And if I'm like really convinced that I want to do something in public space, I just do it. Like I just want to do it, and of course sometimes it's uncomfortable, but it's just part of it. Like
uncomfortable for whom?
For everyone, but and not for everyone, but it's for me it's sometimes uncomfortable, but much less than you would think, and I think also for people, but for me it's not about uncomfort. Like it is just something what belongs to it and comes with it, and like I'm just doing my stuff and look what happens. And of course I do have a favor for weird things, like, let's say.
Well, this is one of the major points and major aims, purposes of art, of bringing people out of their comfort zone and make one it is, because at this stage you begin to analyze things in a different way. And that's the critical approach that's very essential in your work. And I always had this question. You did this performance dance for the camera in the underground station, one of the main underground stations in Berlin, District Mitte, in the heart of Berlin, and under the Linden. It was newly opened. So how did you do it? Logistically, did you have to arrange this with the metro?
I mean, probably I had to, but I didn't ask. Like, I was like just doing it. Actually, this work came out quite spontaneously, and I I did it. I just did it. I didn't ask someone, and
How did people react to it?
yeah, I think lots of people like tried not to react, and they're like kind of boring because there's always weird things happening in the U-Bahn station. And but what is funny is like a lot of people didn't. I mean, you have to see the work like to understand like there's like a triangle of perspective, and a lot of people like try to look like without seeing me that they are looking at me, but they're in the picture, of course, and they didn't understand it. And of course, some people also said something, and like mainly women were like helpful, like asking me if they could hold the camera for me, or if they should take a picture, or generally if they can help me if I need help. And men were a little bit like a little bit more less nice.
Really?
Yes.
They were aggressive, or did they do
Yeah,
some
I had
comments?
like different situations. Like I had one man, he was like very aggressive because I was standing in his way. But like, I mean, it was always like I'm not that big. Of course, I tried to make myself big a lot of time, and like to fit the screen in a way and fit the situation. But there's always enough space, and
So how many cameras were there
I mean, there's the camera,
of the underground
like
station?
the surveillance camera, and then there is a screen showing live what is videotaped, and then my camera like videotaping the screen.
I think it's also it acquires even more importance, this performance, because all of our lives are now under surveillance. All the handy cell phone cameras have this eye that is prying on our private lives, and one thinks that one has this privacy, but actually one is deprived of privacy, and it gains more and more importance. Was it one of your aspects to comment and analyze our existence without this aspect of privacy and of being constantly under surveillance?
I mean, those questions of course come up while doing it. Like, for example, what I said, like that, I mean, some people were aware, but a lot of people weren't aware that they are on the video. And so, I mean, it happens also because it's their all-day life, and you miss to like focus on things then, but you can like clearly see it on the video that people are not aware of that.
Did some of the people get that it was a performance?
I don't know. I never thought about it. I don't think so.
Oh, they just thought she is just doing something, dancing.
I mean, I don't know what they thought, but I mean, it doesn't matter because, like, I think, like, showing the video then on another place maybe makes it like the finished work. I mean, this was just a stage of the work where I was producing it, and people who passed by are lucky because now they are part of it.
I wish I were there. I would really participate in it. Where did you show it afterwards?
I showed it end of last year, like in December, at Stadtwerkstatt Kreuzberg, and then it was an exhibition called Free City, and it was initiated by Maya Pavilion, by Andrea Mineo.
And what has been the feedback from the audiences?
I showed it in like what was very nice. It is like it was shown at Adlerhalle, and it is like an old car fabric. How to say it, like a car production hall, and it has like a little house in it. What really looks like the little houses on the old U-Bahn stations, and I showed it in there, and people couldn't enter the room, like they had to look it from the outside, and also like the sound were on the windows with contact microphones. Yeah, it was nice.
Well, these little structures, these small houses, they are so fascinating.
Yes.
I always had this idea to organize something there, but I never managed to contact the right people.
Yeah, I mean there is some. Oh no. Yeah. I always wonder because it's always like you can't look inside of it.
Never.
And you don't know. I think that there is no more people in there, but you don't know.
Actually, they have massive problems and they don't have enough staff.
Like everywhere?
Like everywhere, but in the Berlin city center, like S-Bahn Oranienburger Straße, they really have personnel who work. And that's someone inside. Depends on the district. Yes, but these spaces are amazing. Just with the furniture and with all these windows and curtains in it. Which brings us to this amazing work, bold italic. This is a script, right? And I had this idea that is like inscribing oneself, one's body into the city landscape, a female body into a city landscape. How did you choose this location, this building? The architecture was so amazing. It was a bit like lions.
Yeah, actually I didn't choose it. It was a project between Beton Berlin and me, and the idea of the project, like it's an exhibition space, but it's like every time in another place in public space, and Christoph Zwiener, who's doing it, his idea is like to find places and then to find an artist who maybe fits there, and he gave me the place, and we thought like this work would fit very well because it is this weird bridge, and then it has this weird like snails on the side, and we met here, and we talked about what to do there, and it just came out that because I did this work in a way before, and then I changed it and made it on this bridge.
Yes, exactly. So you do this sequence of movements, which look really very spontaneous. How much of it is prepared beforehand, and how much spontaneity in it? For me, it's like a choreography and a dance. It's very inspiring, very like, oh.
Thank you. Yeah, I would say it's a mixture. I mean, I really like improvisation, but of course, like, I mean, that's always a question for me, like where improvisation starts and where does it end also in a way. Like if you know the place and if you know the time frame, and I mean this is all things what makes it less spontaneous or improvised, of course. But yeah, I would say it's always like a mixture.
Do you have the next plan with the next location?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you now, but yeah, I have some things in mind, and of course, like this is questions I am asking, like how much to improvise and how much to leave space for improvisation, because it is like very exciting.
Absolutely.
I mean, of course, you have like to know a little bit what you're doing, but it's also exciting for me, at least, to improvise.
put your body in the Mittelpunkt, in the center of it, it's two ways. The architecture and the surroundings, they affect your movements for sure, and this enriches also this landscape. What was the feedback of the audience?
I mean, this was a very intense performance, because it was a performance in public, but it was like it was scheduled. Mm-hmm. So it was like this day at 7 p.m. Paulette Penje will show a performance, and that's a weird combination. Like
it's intriguing.
Yes, and also like I prefer like doing something in public, and the viewers are like zufällig. What is zufällig? Like they just
by coincidence.
Yeah, by coincidence. They just pass by and they can stop or not stop. And I think that could be even more interesting if you find something like this. But in this case we scheduled it, and it was nice. And I think I don't know what to answer to this feedback question. Of course, the feedback was amazing.
Did they ask anything? Were they surprised? Or maybe probably if they know that this is performance, they are not that surprised. But the next one at the Alice Salomon Square, it was a real intervention into public space with people who were not into the project, and with you walking around that square non-stop. And I saw the pictures. You did really tricky things, like jumping over a fence and walking where the railway rails are, which is actually not that safe. And this is also one of the red lines in your work, to put oneself under this danger, to challenge one's body. Because not everyone can do this. I can jump over the fences, and I'm always so excited when I cross these rails. I do it sometimes. But yeah, how was this one?
I mean, it was just like, I mean, the idea of this work was because the Alice Salomon Square is actually really a square. Like if you look it up on the map, it's like a perfect square, but it is interrupted by a big street. And if you come to the place, or it happened to me when I came to the square the first time, I was like, huh? And then I understood, because like the bigger part of the square is like, you understand clearly as the square, and then there's another part on the other side of the street which is also the square, but it is a very weird square actually. And what I did was just like walking the lines, the perfect lines, because if you go over the lights, like you go in the middle of the square. And I was just walking the perfect lines, and this was just the rule, and I had to pass the danger parts, as you say.
Yes.
But I mean, it wasn't that dangerous.
It looks really dramatic. It was a fantastic photographer then.
It was.
How many times and how long did it take, or did you do it daily?
I did it daily for like a little bit more than a month. So yeah, I just like one time every day for, I think it was 33 days or something.
And how many rounds per day?
One.
Oh, just one?
Yes.
And was it on a video?
No.
Just a couple of photos?
Like, I did one day, like, photo documentation, like, to have something of it, but yeah, it was like, especially like focused on the walking and like a performance for the people who are there. Like,
were they aware of it? Did they feel that something's going on?
It was hard, like, to get like in contact with people. I mean, I didn't want to like to hang around all day there and like make like a Sozialstudie out of it. but there were a lot of people who are a lot there. For example, like there was like in the U-Bahn station at this place, there's this döner place, and they were like always saying hello. I don't know if he was aware, but he was aware that there was every day for a month this woman in this black dress, and like I don't know what he thought.
My question was about the costume. Was it on purpose, the same black dress all the time, or?
Yes, yeah, of course, I chose it because like. I think Alice Salomon was like from this time where like women always were supposed to wear this black dresses. Mm-hmm. So this is just the idea, like to refer it in a way and to refer her to her name also.
Oh, she was also one of the inspirations to it.
Yeah, I mean it was like like it was asked to be like it was a Wettbewerb and it was asked to do something for this place or with this Alice Salomon Square.
Oh, and why did they choose your project?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe because it was the.
Didn't they say why they?
I think they did because it was like an open call, and I think they also gave reasons why they choose it. But to be honest, I don't remember it now.
Well, I loved it because it's an intervention. But it's really very subtle, and you can learn about the people around a lot exactly through their comments and through their curiosity, or also through their indifference. Mm-hmm. It speaks a lot about the community.
Yes.
If somebody is absolutely aggressive, it says that shows that the society is violent. But they were really acting nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's also nice if you go to a place like every day. You see it also on different, let's say in different moods. Like sometimes I went there at night, sometimes I went there at morning, sometimes it was raining, sometimes it was hot, sometimes it was very different on a Sunday than on a Monday, and like
in what ways? In what ways? It's a very interesting question how the same place changes depending on the time of the day and the day of the week. What was your favorite time or day?
I remembered like one day, like Sundays, it was like very empty and very windy and sunny at the same time, and it was also like a little bit weird feeling, but it was like very calm in a way. But also on the other days, like I mean, there were always like a bunch of people like drinking alcohol, like even like 1 a.m. But this is definitely part of the space, and then there's kids around like playing hide or seek and.
On that square,
yes, because it has some columns. Like it's possible.
I remember some shops, and it's huge, really, but also kids playing.
Yeah. There's also kids playing. I mean, there's also like a little mall, and then there's the Alice Salomon Hochschule.
School, yes, exactly.
It's different. Yeah.
And how was it in the evenings? Was it dangerous?
I mean, it always feels a little bit dangerous, but I also liked it. One day I was there like around 11 or 12, and of course it was very different, but I wouldn't say it was dangerous. Like not more dangerous than every other place in Berlin.
Amazing. Yeah, this is inspiring. I love this city. It changed a lot through the recent decades. But when you say this, it's always an experiment, and I would suggest you repeat a couple of years later to analyze how the places evolve, because places evolve a lot.
Yes, they do.
Another aspect from your work which I find absolutely interesting is having its roots in painting. But your painting is like also an action, but with spray cans and absolutely involving your body. Who has been your inspiration in this? And how much in this has been also spontaneous, and also if you have a plan what painting will come around, so you stand in the middle of a space and then you spray and paint through your movements. It's something very, very different from the male just dripping technique, what Jackson Pollock did. This is like a phallic activity, like dripping, that was and your is different, involving a female body and the sequence of movements.
Yeah, I don't know, what makes the difference for you?
It sets your body in the middle of it and in the focus of attention, and it's the trace of your gesture, and this trace is forever there through this pigment. I think it's very interesting because the painting is about gesture and about leaving this trace on the medium surface. Like for you it was the rooftop of a building, wasn't it?
Do you mean the blue, the spray painting?
Yes.
Or you mean when I spray painting around the body?
Both. You take up the space,
Yes.
you expand the space. It's not only this oil and canvas, but it's all the space around you. I think it's really some sort of exaggeration of existence, or take it further than the medium solar surface in the traditional sense.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I'm interested in what people before me did, but for me, it's a lot of time there's the question behind of how to move and why to move and how to start something, and things are just coming up, and I think they would even come up if there wasn't Jackson Pollock or something. I mean, I love Jackson Pollock and what he's doing, and
You take it further. It's the very interesting development. You expand these borders and you try out. It's very experimental, especially that you don't choose traditional paper and pencil, but you just take the whole space around it. I think it's very fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, also I think what the paper or every material in between would always make it I like it if it is directly, if I would put paper in between the thing I want to paint, also I have the feeling that the paper is just we don't want to make something dirty, and I want to do things dirty. Yeah. And and for me it ruins it. Lots of time, of course, people want me to do the funny isolation, what is the spray painting around the body, and then saving the floor from not getting dirty. But I'm telling them I won't do it, because this is a very important part, to put it directly on the floor.
Yes, it is this leaving this bodily mark, this trace of your being onto it. I think it's very essential in your work.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So whenever I have the chance, like to not, I mean, of course, I do like to work with paper from time to time, but yeah, like whenever I have the chance to work with the room, whatever the room or the space is, I would prefer that.
How did this come about? This is an exception.
This is an exception, so I have lots of exceptions. I mean, I like rules, but I also don't like rules.
Yeah.
And I started painting on paper when I became a mother.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like for a while it was a little bit hard like to do things outside, and then I thought like, and I really wanted to try out to paint with oil, and I wanted to do it on canvas, but then I always put it the rest on paper, and then I liked this a lot, and so I started painting with oil on paper, and I still do it, but yeah, I just do both.
The colors are remarkable. They're so light. Very lovely abstraction. And what about the Spukfiguren, the spitting figures? It has something very bodily and sensual. You spit the color onto the wall, and then you lick it up. It has a lot of... You spit something, it's something like derogatory, something that you don't want to have in your body, and then you lick it up and that cancels it out. So how did you come about it? And it's also very provocative. You are not supposed to spit on the walls. It's against the rules. You are not used to this. Not everybody, absolutely no one does this. And I think this is also the challenge from the viewer to have a look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to or let's say the other way around. I don't think it's so extreme to spit at the wall, and also I don't think it's so extreme to lick it. I really don't think it like this. Like I invented it. Let's say this game. For me, it was like a little game when I was like in the studio and I was playing around at this time with popsicles. Like, but they weren't frozen. So the first spit figures, or Spukfiguren, spit figures is not the right name, I did with melted popsicles, and it was just like the idea was to force myself. So if I would spit this on the wall, like a mouthful of it, and then trying to lick it before it touches the floor, which is of course impossible. And what I wanted to force is like that an improvised movement comes out, and because I have to hurry up so badly that I'm like, for a second, maybe even forget my movement and body. And then I liked it, and I was like working on it more and more. And this is like what you saw, what was with beetroot juice.
Exactly.
And yeah, but it's a game, and I don't feel it like so. I mean, I know that it is provocative, but it, like in my imagination, it isn't that crazy, like spitting and licking.
It oscillates. You are not supposed to do this in a museum, by no means. But even in a gallery space, there are always these restrictions, how you have to move, except that they tell you you are allowed to do this. But it's always a controlled place. And you transgress these rules, and I think this is a very critical comment about these rules and conventions of behavior in a curated space, in a museum and in an exhibition space, because you know how you move around there, and it's always a show off, and you try to break these rules and do something different and unexpected, and I really don't know anyone else who did this before.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are doing it and doing it before, but yeah.
It was very provocative. And what happens to these pieces afterwards? Are they supposed to be destroyed? The roof painting, for example, or they stay for a while and then...
No, they just stayed, and like sometimes I'm look up Google Earth in the hope that they maybe took a picture, and it is still there, but I think there is like. Something of it will still be there, like, but it's always different with different pieces. Like the Spuckfiguren were shown like over the exhibition time, but of course then we erase them. What is actually very hard with beetroot juice.
It stays.
No, yeah, it stays a lot. Like if you paint over it, it comes through. Like you need like a special blocking paint.
You transform that space through the beetroot juice. And this one, this performance tool, I wish I had seen this also. I immediately thought of the Stino Sekai's Kiss performance. It took place in the Kirchensballhaus in the Mirror Hall. And from the whole Berlin Biennale 4, it was my favorite piece, also due to this Spiegelsaal, which is an amazing place. And that was the first time we entering the space. And Tino did this whole day, and he said it was immensely difficult to kiss and embrace and roll over with a partner all day long. It looked like very romantic, but actually it was hard work. And it was unforgettable. They really feel the space. So what has been your inspiration and your idea? Because your partner was a female. Was it on purpose, or how did this project come about?
I mean, of course it was on purpose, but not to transfer like a lesbian love story. So Nathalie Brück is my performance partner in this piece, and we created the piece together. And it was simply that we wanted to do something together to show it at Hoschek Contemporary in Berlin, and we just started like to work together, and then we decided like to work out like our relationship to each other, and yeah, this is simply how we created the piece. And I think we are very good performance partners, like from a performative aspect.
So did you work beforehand how you would do this, or it was also partly spontaneous and partly?
I mean, like the first event we did this performance together was at Hoschek, and then we did it in Berlin at Saarländische Galerie. This is probably where you saw a picture of, because I have very nice pictures of this performance. And also we did it together with a percussionist, Martial Frenzel, and then we did it also in Stuttgart, and it's like, and it's changing more and more, and of course it is less improvised the more often we are doing it. But we were like meeting also a lot. We were meeting a lot here and like trying things out, like videotaping them, watching the videos, taking things out, putting things in. Like it was like a whole process of like meeting and doing something together.
Did you discover more about yourselves while working on it?
I guess so. I mean, I think what made us a perfect couple. I mean, we are also like really friends in besides the art world, but we have like a very different approach to how to work on art, like how to, let's say, produce art. And this was very interesting, like to work together, even though we are like always like we like really had to communicate and and fight about things and so I guess we learned something, but I didn't make notes about it, so I can't exactly answer to this.
It's very intuitive, but it works on the emotional level, I think. Was it also one of the ideas to research this borderline between the private and the public, and of how much you can... It looks as if it's something very private and love-hate relationship, but in public, and this aspect of somebody looking at it, I think this is the intriguing part of it. Always.
Yeah, and also that's the exciting part. Like it's it's always like the question, especially in improvisation. And I mean, it makes a big difference if you do improvise by your own, or if you have a partner who is giving impulses to you, and you have like a counterpart you can like play with, and it's like always like a decision in the moment of like how much to show, because sometimes it's very good to show a lot because it's for yourself, for your partner, and for the audience interesting, but it can become also too much if you show a lot, and you have like always to decide in the moment and find out, and sometimes you show too much, sometimes too less, and like you are like, it's like life, and that's very like interesting to me.
It's also, I think, for the viewer, also putting the viewer uneasy and bringing them on this comfort zone, how much the viewer can take, and when they look skeptically. I think it's one of the most important aspects of the performance art.
Sure.
The feedback of the viewers, because for me, the viewer is one of the most important actors. One does art for someone.
Of course, like.
So, what is for you, being a Berlin-based female artist at this moment in history? We have now a very turbulent moment in history.
So what is the question? Say it again.
How do you feel as a female artist, Berlin-based female artist?
Yeah, I think I feel like all the other artists, like even the male artists, but I mean, why should I feel different because of being female artist?
I have the impression, and I'm quite convicted of it, that females are less exhibited and less chances to be shown, and that's the worst about it.
Yeah, but it's all over the world, like this thing.
And also the age limit for the scholarships, there is this age limit, about 34, which is absolutely mean for women who have kids or family, or some people just they say we won't have any kids and decide not to have.
Yeah, that's horrible for sure, but I mean we are coming more and more, and actually I really like this. Like it changes very slow, and sometimes I also have the feeling it's not changing. But it is definitely changing. But of course, it is it is like a problem to do things being a mother and an artist, just time-wise. And of course, like all the residencies, it would be nice if they had like Kinderbetreuung and would think more about what that means, but also I talked to a woman. She wants to do like a artist residence for mother artists with their kids, and actually I couldn't also not tell her what to do, because it is a problem problem by nature. Like it's very hard to do art when you have a kid, especially when you have a baby, and maybe like the whole society has to like support all kinds of moms, like
Exactly.
even if they're like having other jobs, like how to stay with their self and how to do things with having babies and little kids.
Exactly.
And
To say nothing of the pay gap, because women artists are paid less than male artists, which is absolutely unfair.
yeah, of course it's absolutely unfair. Like even like maybe I don't know how to
Have to fight. Have to fight. And at this moment in history, as I said, due to the budget cuts of the art sector, the situation has become even more dramatic. Do you think it will cause the commercialization of art in Germany?
I mean, the commercialization of art in Berlin is already